It's just what can you eat at these festivals?
Very true.
And in the hot sun.
Yeah, tomorrow it's going to be hot. You ready?
No.
I know.
I'm not ready. How hot? How hot tomorrow?
We're talking about probably lower 90s. So
just the lower 90s.
Just lower 90s.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, feeling like about 100. It's not actually really that far out of the ordinary for us in summer, but the National Weather Service did issue that heat advisory for our area, and you can see a big chunk of South Louisiana, just really because it might be the first day that a lot of people are experiencing the heat if you're out at these events or ceremonies or different things tomorrow taking place outside. Maybe you haven't been outside in the heat at this level, you know, maybe for a while since last summer. So we do have our heat advisory in effect tomorrow, noon until 8 p.m. This officially means that it could feel like up to 108. However, I think we will be more like maybe 100 to 105 for tomorrow. So just keep in mind all the things that you usually think about in the summer in New Orleans. You probably know, of course, drink water, take breaks in the shade or air conditioning, dress cool, use your sunscreen, and a big one, of course, don't leave kids or pets in the car this time of year. Talking about the heat index, by the way, our high tomorrow may only be around 92 or 93. That's not really very different from the average high later in the summer, but we know it's the heat index. So that kind of science behind it is because, of course, when your body temperature rises, you start to sweat, the sweat evaporates, and that cooling process draws the heat away from your body and reduces your body heat with that evaporative cooling process. But if there's too much moisture in the air, the sweat doesn't evaporate as efficiently and it kind of just gets stuck. So the cooling process is not as efficient. It's sort of halted and then you feel hotter. So heat index feels like temperature. We will be talking about it, unfortunately, for the next several months in New Orleans and in South Louisiana and coastal Mississippi. We always do, because the humidity plays a big role in our heat here. We are expecting that heat and humidity tomorrow. We also do have a chance of a few storms late in the day tomorrow and really most days this week until Thursday. And it might be a little less humid at the end of the week. We will see. Right now it looks like at least a break in the mugginess coming by Friday and Saturday. Temperatures right now near 80, winds from the south, and that breeze today felt pretty good to a lot of us. The feels like still in the upper 80s to about 90. And look at this mess of storms out to our north, a big tornado watch area. And looking at that severe risk for tonight, the levels 3 and 4 are these bullseye kind of areas you can see here. For us, we'll move ahead to tomorrow now and notice that the severe risk is a little lower and generally farther to the east, so could affect possibly some travel plans for people, especially along the East Coast. But for us, we are actually going to be at the level 1 out of the 5 risk categories for severe storms tomorrow, mainly north of the lake. However, we actually don't have a very high rain chance. Our rain chance is about 20 to 30% for tomorrow. Quickly tonight, our temperature is probably scraping the upper 70s, and then tomorrow highs, as I said, lower 90s, maybe as high as about 93. But feeling more like 105 in the afternoon. So there you are, 2 p.m., feeling like near 105. Even by 7, we could still be feeling like 100 or so. And the rain chance is increasing a little bit more toward evening and night. For example, this is our high resolution model showing through 5 p.m. Pretty quiet, maybe a stray shower or two. But this model does want to pop up some rather strong storms, possibly by about 6, 7 p.m. and then has them falling apart by about 9 and 10 p.m. And any sort of severe risk, I think, will be mostly in the form of high wind gusts. This is not going to be a tornadic event, it looks like, or really much of a hail threat, although we'll be watching just in case. But I think it would be a few high wind gusts with any storms and some brief heavy rain and lightning and so forth. But again, not everyone's going to see that. This is Tuesday, same thing just about in the afternoon. I kept a near 30% chance for a couple of showers and storms. This is potentially by 5, and then this is by 10 and 11. Might be a few storms maybe out to our west. But we are getting into that more summer-like kind of setup where we have our daily rain chance at about 30. I think the average for summer is about 30 and 40% most days for those afternoon showers and storms, sometimes into the evening as well. And it does look like part of what will be helping our rain chances get going is that we will have a little surface front dropping through and then hovering over our area. So by Friday and Saturday, we may see some drier air start to filter in from the north. So we'll say for now our temperatures cut back a little thanks to some rain, some clouds, and eventually some very slightly less humid air. We will see. But Friday and Saturday, the rain chance looks lower. Sunday of next weekend, about a 40% chance it looks like for scattered storms.